There was a fellow there who was a toy manufacturer, but also he was a magician. And he had a compound with a big wall around it. So he said, what we'll do, he says, we'll do this in that compound, and then we won't have any interference from outside regulations. So they dug a hole in the ground, like a pit, you know. And they got a young fellow who was named Mandarin, who had apparently was sort of a fake hero type of guy to do things for an extra fee. So he was willing to do this. So Manningham goes in down there. We gave him a skull to hold. He held a skull. Mm-hmm. And of course we got photographs of all this, but nothing ever came back on the pictures. We kept our film. We still got pictures of stills of this. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, Mandarin went in there, and Mandarin apparently goes into a trance. And then we put boards over the top of the hole, mm-hmm. and you don't cover the guy with dirt, you know.
Right.
But the air in there is rather limited, and so obviously the fellow is going to have to control his breathing pretty well and breathe shallowly. So whatever he did, anyhow, apparently he goes into a trance, and we put the boards over and put dirt on top. And he stayed in there about 3 hours, and with no advertising and nothing. I don't know where they came from, but the compound began filling up with Hindus, and the whole place was crowded with these Hindu guys all around. Jabber, 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 jabber. And this guy was in there and for 3 hours in there, and they just stayed. Nothing else to do, so they just stayed. So after the end of that time, we had agreed on a certain time. Why, we scooped away the dirt, took off the boards, reached down, pulled him out of the thing, and laid him on the ground. And then the other guy seemed to know how to do this, so he began slapping his body, circulation, and so forth, and shaking him. He gradually revived, and there he was. Well, we thought that was quite successful, you know. Mm-hmm. And then there was a big to-do about all these people started jabbering around the thing, all these Hindus. You don't know what they were saying. And the fellow who was in charge of the program said, no, none of that. We didn't know what we was talking about. And somebody, and then we said, well, what is this? Oh, they say you Americans would never be so brave as we Hindus. You would never do that. You'd be scared to do that. Our old Ron would do anything. Ron said, I'll do it. I won't do it for 3 hours, but I'll do it for an hour. Did that satisfy him? And he talked to him. Oh, no, you mustn't do that. That's too dangerous, You might die in there. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. He talked to them. No, they're all agreeable. Yeah, that's fine. As long as the American will do it for 1 hour, we'll be satisfied. Otherwise, Americans, big cowards. Big cowards. They're no brave. They no brave. Have lots of money, but they don't have any. They're no brave. They have no courage. So poor Rod, when he goes into the hole, we put the boards on top of Ron. Ron tells me, now, for God's sake, get me out of here in an hour, will you? Don't let me stay in there for 3 hours. So he goes in there. He had been to Taiwan, and he'd been with a Buddhist guru, and she had shown him some of the techniques that the priests do of sort of being able to put themselves into sort of a self-hypnotic condition of breathing kind of shallowly and generally relaxing the body. So Ron, they call it Vipassana. Mm-hmm. So Ron thought he knew enough about Vipassana that he could do that. Later he told me he did it. He did what they were told him to do, but a little ant was crawling over his face, driving him crazy. He tried to price the thing off.
Oh, God.
Anyway, here he was. Poor Rob was all covered up, and I was on top with my watch, you know. So everybody, all the Hindus around, and finally, when the hour was up, everybody was agreeable to 1 hour. So we pulled the dirt off, took out the boards, and we hauled Ron out of the hole. And Ron was a good actor, so lies are like he's dead. We revive him, breathe at him and whatnot, and shake him and talk to him and slap his face, and he gradually comes back. And the Hindus, brave American, brave American.
Oh.
Everybody happy now. He did it. So,
What did he say about it?
what?
How do you feel about doing it? Did he tell you afterwards what he thought being in that
He
hole?
said that. I said for that. He said he just kind of put himself into a self-hypnotic condition of being very passive and being very calm and breathing very shallowly. So it was awful warm in there, awful hot.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the dirt was not on you. It was on the boards were across the top and it was on there. But still, it was a confined hole. You don't have an awful lot of air.
Right.
And he was glad when the hour was out.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, it was an experience. It didn't hurt him any. So he did it, and I watched the watch for the time. He probably had a watch on too, so he was checking him out once in a while, I guess. So we got him out of there, and that was very successful. And he became they thought he was quite a guy.
Well, he goes into the room, sleeps with the spirit.
That. Oh yeah, he
Goes under the.
He became almost a sacred figure.
Really?
Oh, they thought he was.
So he got real popular there.
Oh yeah, they did. They didn't even bother talking to me. They didn't talk to me. They all wanted to talk to him. I was nothing.
Uh-huh.
I was just a timekeeper. Well, I was. Ron got all the publicity. When he gets home, he's back in Hollywood.
Right.
All that fuss. Nobody gave a damn about what he did or didn't do. Although I must admit, Ron was a pretty good promoter. He had himself in some movie jobs as director and so forth.
Now, when you did the Buried Alive all night to the next day and brought the casket onto the stage.
Well, that was different.
That was different.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever do that in Asia?
No, that would be a wonderful stunt. We wanted to do something for a midnight show that would pull in a crowd the first night, and then have it carry over to another theater for the second night. So at the end of the first act, we announced that I was going to go into self-hypnosis, and I was going to go into the coffin,